They really hate me about it is they say, well, I have an eating disorder, so I can't be vegan. And I say, you know, yeah, you can. Because if your eating disorder was that you thought you needed to eat cats and dogs, what would your psychologist or therapist say to you? Oh, okay, you have an eating disorder, so you just keep eating them, that's okay, until you feel better. Like, never would they say that. But I tell people, and they don't like to hear this, that I think that most eating disorders are really thinking disorders.
Oh.
Right?
Try to see, you know, what can I pick on Ben about here?
Then I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Is it okay if I film you?
You're gonna pay?
Yes, we will be paying. Yes.
No.
It's okay?
No problem.
Okay, good. Trying to raise awareness about what happens to the animals. You know, that they suffer, and that we don't need to eat them. What do you think about eating animals?
It depends on what kind of animal.
Which ones do you eat?
Me, I eat beef. I eat
So you eat cows?
cow, exactly.
Okay.
They made for that, we to eat them.
You think that that animals are made for us to eat?
Oh yes, for sure.
Yeah, and cats too?
No, not cats, not dogs.
No? And pigs?
No, pigs I don't, because me I'm Muslim. I don't eat pigs.
Okay, well why not? What's the difference between a cow and a pig?
I follow my religion, so I don't discuss those issues. And God had said pig for Muslim is forbidden. Then I have to respect what God said.
But did God explain why?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What's the reason?
Ma'am, sorry, but I don't want to get into this
Okay.
discussion.
Is it written in the Quran?
It is.
Okay, so I would have to look there.
No problem.
Right. So if it said in the Quran that you should eat cats and dogs, would you do it? Do you think that if you were born in a Christian home that you would think the same way now? Are you proud of your religion?
For sure.
You are?
Proud.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
There are many Muslims who are actually vegan and they don't eat any animals. And you don't have to, just because regardless of what religion you're born into, God wants us to be kind, I think. Don't you think? Nowhere in the Quran does it say you have to hurt animals, you have to eat them. It doesn't say that. So you can choose as a Muslim to not eat them. Did you know that in the dairy industry, like with the baby cows, like in the dairy industry, every time you drink milk, that they take the baby cows away from the mothers? And they kill them if they're boys. And you know, the reason to not eat eggs is similar. You don't eat pigs, but you eat other animals. They also suffer for a lifetime of hell on these factory farms. What's your favorite meal? Like pizza or something? Like most people say pizza. What were you raised to eat as a kid?
Now, Mom, stop that question, please. I don't want to answer those. This is my privacy, and I don't need.
Okay.
You're filming me.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna
Please.
stop filming. I want to say to you, sir, that every animal that you ate, I'm sure that
Please.
I ate as well.
Madam.
You know?
Madam.
Yeah.
Can we stop that?
But why aren't you proud of what you're doing? You're not doing anything different. I did everything that you're doing.
Okay, stop that. Stop that.
You know?
Please.
Okay, we'll stop talking.
Thank you.
I genuinely don't think she saw anything wrong with what she did there. What I gathered from being around her is she treats the world like every single person is her little toy to make an example out of why you should be vegan. And then she had the audacity to text me while we were in the car that she wants to get out because she's scared. Now, I was absolutely petrified in that moment, but if my soul wasn't leaving my body, I would have said, hey, dumbass. It's almost like getting into someone's car and shoving your iPhone in their face and then going on to invalidate their entire religious beliefs would create that environment. And this man was incredibly polite despite everything she was saying. So, and also my Uber rating went down, but anyways.
Yeah. So these kind of conversations, this is what I try to do, is I try to talk to people about veganism. And, you know, I did say, is it okay if I film? And he said, yeah, right? And then it's sort of interesting to see, like, when do things turn around? Like, at what point do you think he started to feel uncomfortable? It must have been something that was brewing a little bit before that. Maybe he was uncomfortable. I got the feeling he was uncomfortable when I talked about religion and why the Muslims don't eat pigs. So I don't think he really knew. I know, it just looks so soft. It's like, is that okay?
Yeah, I got you.
Don't pretend you found it.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh. But she wanted me to pretend like I found it for her for the video.
That's not a sleeve. It's just a blanket. Look what he did to me. This is the outfit he wants me to wear. Look at that. Ben's got to run for his life. No, I have it shackled, okay? Honestly, I have a big chain to his leg, a big boulder underneath the desk. He's not going anywhere. I've kidnapped him. You guys have to dance. Remember, there is no right or wrong way to dance. We're just here to get some exercise because it's good for us. And I know a lot of you guys say that you hate me, but you don't really hate me. You just hate the fact that I'm holding up a mirror to you and that I'm reminding you that you should stop eating animals, okay?
Where you have a doll of a black girl, and then you have the N-words like spelled out as like an acronym.
Which word is that you're talking about? Which N-word?
I don't think I can say it.
And why is that exactly?
Because I'm not of the race that it applies to.
Do you actually believe that yourself personally, that you should be allowed, there's certain words that certain people can't say, but other people can say?
I do think that, yeah.
You do? See, that's where we fundamentally disagree. I think that there are no words that I should not be allowed to say, and you should also be allowed to say any words that you want. So, are there any other banned words that you can think of?
There's a few, and I don't think it's necessarily not being able to say, like not physically being able to say it, but I think it's kind of like a sign of respect to the people that it offends.
So if there's nobody in this room right now and we say a word, except there's just you and I, how does that offend anybody? And what I was simply saying to people is that I think that it's not a bad idea that when there are words that are flung at you, that you can make an attempt to reclaim them. Who are we to be the word police and decide who says what? Because this has far greater reaching circumstances than I think you realize. Because when you start banning words, you ban thought. And that's not okay. I think we should be allowed to say any words that we want. The C word, the F word, the N word, you name it. How many other words are there? And I think the fact that we say the N word, you're still saying the N word. So, and then I could say to you, well,